What's up, folks? I'm Odd, by the way, and welcome back to another random animal hybrid challenge thing. Basically, I go on a random generator and I find multiple animals to mix together to make into some unholy abomination, the likes of which has never been seen before. Now, in this circumstance, I wanted to kind of move back to almost the roots of where this came from, where I was trying to, I guess, do like creature design based off of the options that I got from these randomly generated animals. I've moved a little bit toward like just making hybrids, and like a three-way hybrid is already, a bit of a challenge, but I really wanted to go into like a creature design this time, so something that isn't like it has the like certain traits of all three animals, and it is some hybrid of some degree, but also is kind of a unique animal in and of itself, if that makes any sense. So that is my goal for what we're doing today, and we are going to find some beasties to merge together and create our lovely little abominations. I'm on a new random generator called the Word Finder today. I just figured that I would give this one a try, and we will just generate and go from there. This one, I believe, also has information about the animals behind each panel, so that should make things a little bit more helpful. All right. A mullet, so a fishy, an elk, and a rhinoceros. Okay, interesting. So like a semi-aquatic animal with horns and kind of an armor deal going on. Okay. Yeah, that I feel like I could do something with that. The mullet obviously looks a little boring, but I mean, we don't need to judge, right? Mullets, or the mullet may, or the mullet or the mullets may refer to blank. Thank you. Cool. Can I copy from here? Animals copy to clipboard, edit. Have they been though? All right, I might just need to take a screenshot of these three because I can't seem to get pictures. That's okay. All right, so we'll just copy that, paste, and on to our next assortment. Okay, so, but yeah, like, it's interesting because I do believe that rhinos, I guess it's more hippos. I was gonna say I guess larger animals in general, they like to be in water to like kind of alleviate the bigness of them. But it's more hippos that are more semi-aquatic than rhinoceros. Okay. New random draw. Okay, chimpanzee, bison, and a bullfish. Well, this this is interesting. Okay. So a flying herd animal with some simian qualities. Okay, interesting. I will just grab these three then. This one is gonna look funky, I can tell. All right, get those. This is probably more effective than the way I was going about it before, where I was just copying all three pictures and pasting them individually. Okay, one more. A bee, a fox, and a chinchilla. Oh, it's gonna be so cute. Oh, this is my favorite. Oh no. Fluffy. Okay. Fluffy. Insect-like. Hive-minded. Deserty. There's a vibe. There is a vibe here that I like, and I feel like I could make very cute. Okay. Interesting. So we got some interesting choices to go from today with our selections. Let's just pop on down to clip real quick here so you can see. Okay. So yes, these are our results. And it's interesting that the bullfinch has, I guess it's just like fish, bird, but not all of them are classified like that. So that's interesting. I guess it just depends on what emojis they have, what symbols they have. So to start off, we have a mullet, an elk, and a rhinoceros. appears to be like a 2-horn rhinoceros. I think are there 3 horns, or am I misremembering? Regardless, we got kind of a plated, definitely herd animal, semi-aquatic. So sort of like a hippo, but different, right? And then down here we have a flying herd animal with some like intelligent simian qualities, maybe tree dwelling based off of these two. Interesting. Okay. And then I would assume like some sort of carnivore. I actually don't know. Are chinchillas carnivorous or are they omnivorous? Or neither, or both, or herbivorous. Do they just eat plants? I feel like they eat more than plants and nuts and stuff, but I could be wrong. I'd have to look up their diet. But regardless, it's probably going to be an omnivore, but with some bee-like qualities. Okay, so yeah, I want to take these aspects along with the aesthetic, but I want to make sure that I also kind of get these aspects and sort of develop a creature that is a bit more cohesive in behavior, kind of like a speculative biology vibe, a little bit. So that is what I'm going to try to do. I need to think on this for a little bit. So I will see y'all in the speed paint voiceover and talk you through what I thought up there. See you there. So we're starting out with that mullet, elk, and rhino hybrid. This struck me as some sort of marine mammal, or at least semi-aquatic. The body turned out to be very rhino heavy, but the elk's horn structure got to shine with the horns on the nose. I also went back at some point and gave them 2 horns up at the top of the head too, and even later than that added some fur on the neck and the belly for the elk's features as well. That, along with making the tail look more like an aquatic mammal's, gave me the vibe that this creature maybe exists in a colder environment. When it came to colors, I went for dark to light gray color scheme. I liked how the elk's pattern kind of went from dark to light from the extremities. The scales from the fish really make the like already tanky rhino body look way more armored. Instead of the usual kind of portmanteau sort of names that I give these creatures, I figured I'd go for more colloquial sounding names, so this is the river unicorn. They live in subarctic territories and travel in pods. There are local legends that warn against them, similar to those of kelpies, where riding the seemingly docile gentle giants can lead to drowning. If there is truth to this, it's likely not malicious and more to do with the waters they inhabit, causing a gasp response due to how cold they are. Overall, they might just have no knowledge or care that a human is riding them, so it's not really advised to ride them regardless. That being said, some have told stories of these creatures guiding humans, especially children, to shore after they've fallen into the icy water. They really start to gain their unicorn name there. Their thick hides are incredibly armored, and they have very few known predators, so they're generally sweet-tempered unless they feel a threat toward the younger or weaker of their pods. Humans sometimes hunt them for their armor, blubber, and horns, but they're often regarded as more trouble than they're worth, so items made out of their hides are rare. Like manatees, they are herbivores and feed on algae and marine plants. Next up, we have the chimp, bison, and bullfinch mix. This one was probably the most kind of choppy mix of features I wound up making, but looking at it now, I do think that it still turned out pretty nicely. I spent a long time going back and forth on poses and anatomy elements, especially the wings. I wasn't sure if I wanted more like Batwing because this creature was mostly mammalian or to stick with the feathers. Ultimately, I decided to keep the feathers. Maybe they're like similar but different to bird feathers in a sort of convergent evolution style. I don't know. It's still fantasy. Initially, I tried to incorporate the brown from the bison's coloring, but in the end, I decided to focus on the gray with the pop of orange on the belly from the finch. I think the stance of this creature is probably my favorite part, and what ultimately made me realize what I wanted to call them, the fielder's gargoyle. I love the sort of talon quality to the hands and even the hooves on the back. The face is pretty fun too, very intelligent eyes, definitely a bit more primate heavy. Fielder's gargoyles are a migratory species that form large family groups. Unlike their cousins, this species rarely cohabitates with large human populations and isn't nearly as territorial, though their nests are nothing to be messed with. They mate for life and have dizzyingly intricate mating rituals which seem individualized, although a lot of it has to do with dancing, presenting with gifts, and showing off adult colorings. Troops regularly consist of a few mated pairs and their children, which are cared for by the community as a whole. They slowly migrate from north to south over the course of the year, mainly between optimal grazing grounds. They're opportunistic omnivores, eating mostly plants and smaller animals. Last up, we have the bee, fox, and chinchilla. This was definitely the one I knew I went the hardest and weirdest on for the design. I just knew it could be cool, so I wanted to give it the best chance I could. The bee traits are pretty prominent, so you get the large eyes, the wings, the 6 legs. I also considered kind of segmenting it like a bug a couple of times, but that just looked too like uncanny or weird with the mammalian traits. When I got to the color, I had to add in some cool stripes too. The resulting creature almost gives me like lemur vibes, weird alien lemur. I also thought it would be cool to make the whiskers look more like antennae, and I added extra pupils for that kind of compound eyes vibe. I know I initially said that this was bound to be cute, and I still think it is, but I think I leaned more into the weird territory with this one. I love it. I still love it though, and I decided to call this creature a fey fox because it still has very fox heavy vibes and the fairy-like insectoid wings. The fey fox has a nasty reputation set aside for it, especially given that both its namesakes are known for trouble. Overall, however, it is generally just elusive and shy. These creatures exist in hive-like hierarchies, with as little as one matriarch directing their own broods. They live in large dens with networks of tunnels. Each member has a specified job within their packs. They're caretakers for the new kits, guardians to the territory, and scouts who hunt in packs. If you come too close to a den for a guardian's liking or are perceived as a threat by scouts, they have large barbed stingers hidden on the end of their tails that can cause significant damage and hold venom that could cause an allergic reaction, but generally just cause even more inflammation and swelling on the wound. Some fey foxes can lose their stingers if they get stuck, but unlike bees, this won't kill them. They may, however, be demoted or even removed from the den altogether. De-stung fey foxes have been kept as human companions before, but the process of deliberately removing the stinger is seen as inhumane, and overall, de-stung fey foxes live fairly short lives, partly due to under-socialization and lack of stimulation. Even groups of destung fey foxes may actually shun each other and are often still lacking a matriarch component to drive them. Some cultures keep intact fey foxes, using their hive-like mentality to gather resources and their inherent drive to work and hunt for herding. They're too restless to be good house pets, though. Fey foxes are omnivores, but they have a proboscis for drinking nectar. They can act as pollinators because their whiskers pick up pollen, but they aren't as effective as insects due to their larger size and their propensity to sometimes just eat the flowering plants instead. But these are my little hybrid creatures this time around. I hope that you like the little flavor text blurbs. I had fun world building a bit for these otherwise kind of random little animals. I also resized them both to fit together and also to kind of show their relative sizes a bit. Although the Fey Fox may be even smaller, maybe even the gargoyle. I think the Rivercorn is obviously the largest of the three of them. But yeah, let me know what you think of these beasties below and other fun art challenges you'd like to see me do. And of course, you can subscribe to see those in the future. At that, though, I'm going to leave this here, and I'll see y'all next time.